I'm claiming to have found proof that we live in a simulation. If you project a 650 nanometer diffracted laser on the surface, and you happen to be on DMT, you will see code running in surfaces. This observation is true across all individuals, all times, and all conditions. The rabbit hole goes pretty deep, and there's a lot to unpack. So for context, check out this viral video of mine, in which I'm talking about the details about the discovery. What you're about to see next is a clip from the second video on the subject, which also includes people trying the experiment. So why would a civilization simulate our space? I have a few assumptions. Here's one example. Imagine the most advanced civilization you can possibly think of. Number 5, 6, 7, doesn't matter what number you want to throw at it. Let's say that they've discovered everything there is to know inside the physical universe and maybe the non-physical universe. In all directions, in all dimensions, in all times. You get the picture. Aside from one final question, which is the same question from the beginning of time. Why? Why does anything exist? Let's say that that's the final unanswered question. So this civilization would allocate all its technological sophistication and resources to answer that question. How would you go about answering a question like that? Well, how do we do anything in machine learning, for example? We collect enormous amounts of data, and then we let a machine run through it with supervised and unsupervised learning, and then we look at the patterns that emerge. We build visual graphs, we build statistical analysis to that, and then we reach some kind of a conclusion about what this data might mean. So in the same way, one possible way that a civilization like that would go about answering that question would be running infinite number of simulations, and by observing the creatures that are developing in their respective environments and what kind of theories and what kind of stories they come up about their origin story, they can then collect all that data and then put it into this ultra mega super AI or AGI that will then come up with some kind of a heat map of the most common explanation, and they will try and maybe distill the essence, the thing that is the common denominator between all of those stories that will eventually, potentially, produce the statistically most likely answer to why does anything exist. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that's necessarily the case, but this would be one plausible explanation as to why the simulation means something to a civilization that runs it. The difference between all those fascinating speculations and what we need to do now is we have to take anything that we're capable of reproducing and then using that to connect it to what we already know. Only then we're going to have some kind of a firm ground or firmer ground on which we'll be able to stand and ask the right kind of questions. This is an opportunity for individuals to make themselves a part of something that is huge, because there's room for everybody in such a quest. Yes, I happen to have come up with the idea that if you project this laser and you're in this psychedelic and you get to see this, but this is just the beginning of the road. That is not the discovery. It might be the door that opens to a path that will eventually lead to the discovery, but I truly believe that this discovery will be made by all of us, collectively. So please understand that this video is more a call for action and an invitation to join than anything else. We're reaching a point in history in which many things will shift very quickly. It's up to us to imagine a new world, a world that will allow us to understand the deepest truths about itself and ourselves in it. So when a door opens to something that is potentially truly fundamentally different, that can radically change our understanding of the world, we should look. We should all look. I believe we reached a step outside of our map. So it's time for all of us to harness our skills and get our bearings together and step into the new map. It might sound grandiose, because it is, but I truly believe that that's where we're at. Let's discover a new world, and let's do it together.
So can you describe what you saw? And just for the record, I didn't tell you this, you said it yourself.
Yeah, I see letters, definitely letters, numbers and letters, Chinese, and I just want to take a picture of it and translate it. It's definitely saying something. Can you move it?
Yes.
That is crazy.
Wow.
You see that?
Okay, so yeah, it's not stuck.
No.
It's not because of the light.
No, it's on its own side. Light is just literally revealing it.
Wow, what the fuck?
That's the rock response.
You don't get that a lot.
So if you could somehow project it back from the air, you would see it in the air too. What the fuck? There it is. And look at the edges, like where the light ends, like in these areas, like up and down. Like, look at that. Like how it just reveals it. That's exciting.
It's like some type of symbols. I mean, I could say some of them look like 3s and 5s, but they're not exactly. They're portions of them, and they're not flat. They're like 3-dimensional. But it's confusing because the things behind it kind of make it blurry.
Okay, well, there's columns of some sort of character. Like now it's slowing down, but it was like each column was mingling with the other one, like almost in a dance, but unorganized.
Let's bring a glass of water and put it here, see?
You never used the curved glass.
Clearer and clearer.